hello, love. I am Sarah Sparks. I am your soul's guide to freedom, the soul's guide to freedom. I was instructed by Spirit to tell you about something that I didn't do and what happened when I didn't listen to my divine guidance. So, happy Saturday. This live is about what happens when you don't listen to your divine guidance. First off, all thoughts are based out of fear and faith. Mark that down on a piece of paper. Fear versus faith. Now, have you ever been in a moment that you felt really overwhelmed? As you're coming on, please feel free to say, hey, how's it going? Happy Saturday. So have you ever felt like I'm completely overwhelmed? I have all these decisions to make. I don't know which road to take. I feel very lost. I don't know how to connect. I feel all this pressure from the whole world that I need to make all these decisions right here, right now, but I really don't know what that decision is. I don't know how to move forward. Oh my goodness, how do I move forward? That is how I felt. First time I felt that, and I'm going to tell you about that, was when I was 18 years old. And a lot of people, I had a great deal of pressure that I put on myself to please others. Are you guys a people pleaser? Have you ever tried to please others? So I wanted to feel accepted by others. I wanted to please others. So when people would ask me questions, I felt like I had to have the answer right here, right now for them. I didn't. And so people would be asking me, are you going to go to college? What college are you going to go to? What are you going to study? Do you have a boyfriend? Is the boyfriend going to go to college with you? What do you want to do with your life? Where do you want to live? What job do you want? Do you want to work in public sector, private sector? What would you like to do? And I was completely overwhelmed. I felt very lost. I was like, I tied my shoes today, so you should give me a cookie for that. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do with the rest of my life. And maybe you feel like that now, that, oh my goodness, how am I going to live the rest of my life? What does my life look like from here on out? Maybe you just feel lost, like I did. And that lostness I continued to feel that for over 10 years. So I was 18. I felt really overwhelmed. I was raised Catholic, so I thought that I could possibly pray, but I really didn't know if I could actually have a conversation with God. I thought, we pray, during mealtime, and we ask for forgiveness, or we pray for those who are suffering or have a disease. We pray for those who are at war. And so I thought in my mind, this is just my life. I really don't know if I'm significant enough to be talking to God, but I'm going to give it a whirl because I really don't have an answer. So I laid in bed and I was like, all right, God, I don't really know what I'm supposed to do with my life. So if you have an answer, feel free to give it to me. So what am I supposed to do with my life? And I fell asleep. I fell asleep having that question looming out there. That night, I had a dream, and I woke up with this image, and I had this dream, and I'm going to tell you about, once a week for an entire year. This dream consisted of me walking down a beach, a white sandy beach with shells. I could feel them under the bottoms of my feet. I felt the salty, moist air hitting my face. I heard the seagulls flying over. The sun was setting, probably about 20 minutes left before it was setting. There was water to my right, more like an ocean of some sort, large body of water, crystal blue skies. And there was a man about 12 feet in front of me, 6 feet tall, broad shoulders, tan neck, dark hair. I was like, oh my gosh, God's giving me a tall man. I'm 5'9.5", and so I was like, someone taller than me, score! This is what I felt in my dream. It was crazy. But the overall feeling of the dream was, I'm home. Yeah, this is where I'm supposed to be. I'm home. And I was overwhelmed by that feeling. That when I woke up and I got ready to go to school, my alarm went off. And I had that dream, like I said, once a week for an entire year. Have you ever had a nudge by spirit, by God, by the universe, seen certain signs over and 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 over, and you're like, just freaking tell me. Like, y'all can comment. Like, we can have a conversation about this. It's not just me yammering on to you, okay? So, like, have you ever had that overwhelming feeling like, I'm supposed to know this? Like, this is what I'm supposed to be feeling. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. Yes, but. And then my yes, but stood in the way because I thought that it would be just way too easy for me to listen to spirit, listen to God, and get my answer. Like, is that even possible? These were thoughts that I would have for like 10 years, from when I was about 18 to 28. And I cannot tell anybody that I have this gift, that I can just have this conversation with God, because it developed more than just the dream. I would write cards to people, and just thinking that I would be writing cards, and then it would be details in there that there was no way that I would know this. And people would be like, how did you know that? Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Or I would say something that was very like, well, you have 28 acres of land. And they're like, how did you know that I only have 28 acres of land? Like, I was like, I don't know. It just came to me. And I didn't know at the time about my gift to the extent that I do now. And maybe I don't know to the extent that it will be. But I didn't understand my gift at the time that I had dove into this dream. But I thought that would be really weird if I would tell anybody that, hey, I had this dream, I had this conversation, I asked, I received an answer, hey, Carol, and I would not be able to fully express what was going on in the dream. And I just felt like I would be, like, people wouldn't accept me, because if you remember, that was kind of like my thing, is that I wanted to be accepted and I wanted to please people. So I'm like, I should probably go to college. I should probably have a job. And there's no way that I'm going to tell my family that, hey, I'm going to move to Florida. And, oh yeah, by the way, I didn't tell you that it was Florida because I didn't know. I didn't know at the time. I know it now. I was like, I wouldn't tell my family, like, hey, I'm going to move to a beach and I'm going to meet this guy and we're going to live happily ever after. So that's my game plan for my future. I would not have told my family that because they would think that I'm freaking crazy. And so, and maybe they still do. I don't know. I don't care. So if any of my family's watching, it's okay if you think I'm crazy. I totally accept that now. Because I am. It's good. Anywho, going off the beaten path here. So I had this dream over and over and over. And what I did was I bought into fear. So if you remember from the beginning of our conversation here, is that there are two ways to base your thoughts. It's either out of fear or out of faith. And I chose fear. I chose fear because I had so much limiting belief. I was scared. I wanted to please others. I thought that I would look weird. I thought I would be weird. I thought that it just wasn't possible for me to live this very easy, effortless life. And then I realized, after planning my own death, which I shared in another video, after planning my own death, not going through with it, series of events, getting divorced, quitting my job, finishing up grad school, going on vacation with a friend. And when I was on that vacation, and she was like, Sarah, you need to go on vacation because you're being a huge bee throughout this whole thing. And I was like, yeah, it's true. And so she was a pivotal person to help me shift. And I went on vacation with her. And when we were on vacation, second to last day being on vacation in St. Pete Beach, Florida, I walked past this person. He, like, khaki shorts, t-shirt, ball cap. I walked past him and I felt what now I would say a a soul's recognition. At the time, I was like, what was that? I'm just walking to the bathroom. I think I have to poop. And it wasn't a holy shit, but it was like, oh, he feels familiar. All right, whatever. So I continue on. I go to the bathroom. Sure, y'all want to know that detail. And I come back, and he comes over and he sits down, and we start talking, and we talk for like an hour, and up comes time to leave. Closing, like the place was closing. It was around 8 o'clock, and he's like, "Hey, do you want a rape-free drive back to your hotel?" And I was like, "Well, he seems safe," which I'm sure right now he would love to hear that I called him safe. I'm sure every man who has ever tried to pick up a chick and the chick calls them safe, I'm sure that's exactly what they want. I'm sure that's what they were going for. No, I'm probably not. Anyways, he felt safe to me, so I was like, I think that I will save $8 on a cab ride, so I'm gonna go back with him. And my friend went with me. But I wasn't gonna have him drive me back to the hotel. I mean, come on. So I had him drop us off a few hotels from where we were staying. We ended up continue talking, and he's like, "Do you want to take a walk on the beach?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." We walk out to the beach. I'm holding my cup. I drop the cup, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to hurt the environment. So I turn around, I pick up the cup. This man continued walking ahead of me, so he's now in front of me, 12 feet ahead of me, 6 feet tall, broad shoulders, dark hair, dark neck, sunset, Gulf of Mexico, water lapping seagulls. The whole scene from my dream that happened 10 years prior, so I was 28 now, and I was 18 when I had the dream, so 10 years had passed, and all of the shitty stuff in my life, because I completely cut off that divine guidance. And I wouldn't have called it at the time, but after years of analyzing it, I now know, because I'm a rough age of 39, or a beautiful age of 39, so wising up in my years. Anyways, it was the man from my dreams. Literally, figuratively speaking, man from my dreams. And as you probably know and probably have guessed, that man is Craig Sparks. I am married to Craig Sparks now. I tuned in, tapped in, turned on, and as you all have known, because you've gotten to be part of the Channeling Your Chosen Path or rapid fire channeling, I completely tune into my divine guidance now, and that's how I live. So by tuning in, plugging in to my divine guidance, my life's not always easy. There's still some things that happen because, quite frankly, I probably like contrast. I don't know. Maybe I've got some shit to work out. I don't know. Stuff still happens. But it is way more effective and way more efficient. I brought my 2 children into this world all based on divine guidance. Yes, we had to actually have sex, in case anybody, I'm not some Virgin Mary, but yes, I received the fact that, hey, 2 souls are ready for you. Do you want to bring them into this world? With both of them, they both told me their name. So that's how Amira and Joy came about, is they both told me what they wanted to be named. How I moved from Iowa, then from Iowa to Florida, from Florida to Iowa to South Carolina, all divine guidance. Divine guidance then has played a role in increasing my business and getting fit and what to eat and what scarf to wear for a presentation today. You're my second presentation. And so everything now is based on my divine guidance. And that's what I want for you, is that to have this effective, efficient life. And can I guarantee that it's going to be easy? No, that's up to you. But I want this for you. And so may you, on this Saturday, find this excitement in you to let go of who you thought you needed to be and step into who you've been called to be. So much love. Happy Saturday.